Am I the asshole for telling our neighborhood about my neighbors spying on my wife? My wife and I bought my grandparents' house a year ago. It's a good home in a good neighborhood with a pool. I'm an architect and my wife is an interior designer, so we did do some works around the house. The neighbor in question is neighbor A and the other is B. The pool is closer to neighbor B in the backyard, so we decided to put a sliding lattice wall. We also recessed the pool area. I did this because sometimes my wife likes to tan and swim topless. Days ago, we were chilling at the pool and my wife took off her top and we were canoodling. But nothing crazy. A neighbor told us this is a family neighborhood and we do better to keep that in mind because A saw us last night. Am I the asshole for telling people in our neighborhood about my neighbor spying on my wife? That was odd because she had to stand at the very end of her property and because of her height get in something. We shut our mouth, but 5 days ago when I came home from work, my wife was out having a discussion with our neighbors. It turns out the lady caught her husband watching my wife the second time and was calling her names. I sent them home threatening to call the police if we caught the husband doing that. I guess the lady wanted to spread the word before we did to save face and told a few of her neighbors about my wife being indecent. So I went out of my way too. I told her friends in the neighborhood what her husband did to my wife. And now they're casting her out.
Storytime about when I messed up by opening my fiance's DMs. First, the discovery. I had a rough day and my fiance's algorithms are top notch, so I was scrolling through his apps to entertain myself, hoping for a pick-me-up. I opened his Instagram and noticed that he had a couple new DMs. We don't snoop through each other's phones, but we also don't hide anything either, or so I thought. So I clicked on them just to see if they were important because he doesn't check Insta often. Well, I see DMs from a deleted account, thus sparking my interest. So I click and I scroll. Messages go years back. Maybe 20 to 30 messages total. Some winky faces, some slightly sexual memes, and a few photos of lingerie. Nothing outright incriminating, but who is this bitch? My heart dropped. We're getting married in less than 5 months. These messages aren't okay. He's not a cheater. Never once have I ever questioned that, nor has he given me any reason to. I start to see red. Now the confrontation. I put on my big girl pants, wipe my tears, and storm into the bathroom. Rip open the shower curtain, revealing this idiot's albeit gorgeous naked body. He, though quite startled, raises his eyebrows and smirks. Looking to join, he says, "Wrong move, buddy." I go off, like a badass. He denies it, like a liar. I hold his towel hostage and toss him his phone so he can see for himself. He scrolls and pulls off this wildly confused demeanor. I literally see the blood leave his face. He kind of just says, stuttering, "Baby, I don't know." We go back and forth. He swears up and down he has no idea who this could be. "I'm just as surprised as you are," he claims, criminally. So I take his phone so I can quote this other woman for emphasis. I ready my best Valley Girl voice and scroll through the most recent received messages. I notice for the first time, inconveniently so, a picture she sent of a guinea pig. I think, aw hell, I love guinea pigs. Then I remember, I have seen this guinea pig before. Then I realize, she is me. I deleted all my social media almost a year ago. Neither of us remembered any of the messages we sent. I start laughing and happy crying. My fiance looks as if he just won the lottery and received the death penalty simultaneously. Now to the aftermath. Now we sit, both recently showered, debating whether or not we should welcome a guinea pig into our family. I am so embarrassed. He is so relieved. We are crazy, stupid, and so in love. I, 17, female to male, am trans and came out to my family a few months ago. All in all, everyone has been supportive, although I believe my mom was a tiny bit bummed. She said that she would always support me though. She just needs time to process all of this, which is honestly painful, but not the reason why I'm here. My mom got a tattoo with my sister's name and my dead name after I was born. It's a huge tattoo with a unique design that incorporates her and my dead name. It covers most of her arm and she's really proud of it because my older sister designed it and gifted it to her for her birthday. Obviously, constantly seeing my dead name is kind of triggering for me. Therefore, I told her that she needs to remove it. She seemed shocked and told me that she's too old for longer tattoo sessions. She hasn't gotten a tattoo in years because of that. She was also diagnosed with depression and such and uses it as an excuse for not having the energy to change it anymore. I don't really believe her, but whatever. Now she's often trying to cover it up with clothes, but I feel like it's not enough. Just the knowledge that that name is still there, it haunts me, but she refuses to change it. We had a lot of fights because of it, and she said that she's really trying to hide it, but it's part of her body that she's in love with because there's so much history and love for her children in that tattoo. I can't really relate because I don't have any particularly significant tattoos. Now, my birthday was a few days ago and some family came over, and the issue came up because my cousin was showing off her new tattoo and someone asked about my dead name tattoo. My mom got uncomfortably silent and excused herself and went to the kitchen. So everyone started asking me what that was about, and I told them that I wanted her to remove the tattoo, but she doesn't want to. My sister also doesn't want her to, because she believes it would look really awful, since the entire design is attached to the names and the only way to cover it would be just to make her entire arm black. Anyway, I didn't actually plan for that reaction, but my cousin, who can relate because she's queer, for some reason got furious and went after my mom and screamed at her for being so unsupportive and accused her of being transphobic. which I don't believe, although it was nice to see someone get angry about the tattoo because my cousin was finally saying some things I was feeling, but I didn't want to put it into words. My mom then had a panic attack and left the house. She's now staying with my grandpa, and my dad and sister are angry at me for making some of my family gang up on her. Am I the asshole for telling my mom to remove and change the tattoo?
Am I the asshole for not getting my drunk girlfriend fast food? One of my girlfriend's friends graduated, so we went out to a bar to celebrate. It was a Tuesday night. We got the invite last minute, but we both agreed to go for like 2 hours tops. I was the DD so she could celebrate with her friend. Plus, I had work in the morning. She's unemployed. Anyways, we meet her friends at the bar and we have a good time. Then we hop in the car to head home. When we get in the car, my girlfriend asks me if I want to get food. She's drunk. I'm not. Usually, when I go out, I'm down, but this time I tell her, no, I kind of just want to go home. It's late. She then starts begging, please, can we get Jack in the Box? I tell her I just want to go home and that there's food at our apartment. She then throws a little tantrum and calls me mean, says she would have taken me if I was drunk, and she brings up the time it would take to go. I said no because 1, I was really tired and I really value my sleep, and 2, we both just started working out. We got gym passes. I'm trying really hard to give up junk food. Moving forward, we're driving home and we pass by Jack's. She then asked again. At this point, I figured, what the hell? It's not out of the way, so I pulled into the drive-thru. I'm a little annoyed, but I still pulled in to make her happy. We get to the speaker and they ask what we would like to order. My girlfriend starts telling me her order and I laugh and say, don't tell me, tell the guy. I was just the chauffeur. I didn't want to be the middleman. She got really mad that I made her order from the passenger seat. After she ordered, we sat in line behind another car. In line, she was calling me a dick and an asshole for making her order. I didn't see how it was a big deal. She has a voice. She did some hurtful things, and I basically said, I'm in line with you, getting you food. Don't forget who's driving. Call me an asshole again, and I'll show you an asshole. So, she called me an asshole again. I got upset and kept driving past the food pickup window. We left Jack's with no food. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to clean his own poopy scarf?
I don't even know what a poopy scarf is. I can't even imagine what that's supposed to mean.
After my family went to town to grab some food and get some groceries, my husband was having some bowel distress. Pretty much, he has to run to the bathroom 30 minutes after eating, and today he ran into the house to take his dump, leaving me to bring in the groceries and our girls.
My poop is coming!
He was in such a hurry that his scarf got into the line of fire, so to speak, and he tells me that it needs to be washed. Now, I wasn't in the house when this took place, but I'm willing to bet he took the time to grab his laptop to take it in there with him. It never fails when he goes to take a dump, that laptop goes in too. Why? When he told me his scarf needed washing, I told him he is right, and then I told him where the woolite was, and by the look on his face, I know he was expecting me to handle it, and I'm sorry. But if he cared about his scarf so much, he would have took it off before getting his laptop. Also, I love him, but not that much.
Am I wrong for walking out of my cousin's wedding? I, 45 female, was recently contacted out of the blue by my cousin, John, 47 male, daughter, Emily, 23, who wanted to meet more of his family after he's been no contact with all of us since his wedding about 25 years ago. He was apparently furious with her when he found out and forbade any further contact unless we all apologized for walking out of his wedding. John had been engaged to Rachel for about 2 years and she was a very lovely and sweet person. All of the family loved her and they really tried to make her feel like part of the family. They'd come to holidays and birthdays for all the family and we threw a party for her on her birthday. We didn't hear from them in a month or two leading up to the wedding, but we figured they were just busy with last minute planning and none of us were in the wedding party. On their wedding day, all of us, about 20 cousins, aunts, and uncles, turned up to the venue to see signs for John and Kristen's wedding. We thought we were at the wrong place initially until John came out and confirmed that it was the right wedding hall. John said that he'd called off the engagement with Rachel a month prior after reconnecting with an old flame, and they decided to use the date to get married instead. We were all confused and upset, and while John was trying to calm everyone down, I went and used the venue's phone to call Rachel. She said that 2 weeks before, she had caught John cheating with Kristen and ended things right then. She said that John had refused to cancel what they could for the wedding and get back what money they could. Instead, he used them towards this new wedding with Kristen. Most of the family and I then walked out, saying that we were not going to stay for this bait and switch wedding, especially after he had treated Rachel so horribly and him not even telling anyone that he was marrying someone else. Yeah, that's fucked. He said that it shouldn't matter who he is marrying and that as a family we had to stay and support him. We didn't, so he hasn't spoken to any of us for 25 years. So, am I the asshole for walking out of the wedding and not apologizing even after 25 years?
Am I the asshole for making my wife order off of the kids menu or share a meal with me? My wife has never been a big eater, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is that my wife is somehow also a greedy eater. She prefers a large variety of foods together at one time in smaller portions. Now at home, this is annoying, but it's manageable, and when we go out, it becomes a nightmare. She will order whatever gets the most variety of options, ignoring the cost. Then add sides, desserts, appetizers, only to eat 2 bites of the things she orders. And she refuses to eat leftovers, so all the food goes to waste. Am I the asshole for making my wife order off the kids' menu or share a meal with me? A week ago, I got incredibly annoyed she ordered herself a rack of ribs and an appetizer only to eat 20% of each. I only ordered a small salad so I could finish the rest, but I hated the sauce. I told her I'm sick of spending $40+ on her alone for food she doesn't end up finishing. I said from now on, she should order off of the kids' menu or share a meal with me. Of course, she ended up ignoring me. The next time we went out, I asked for the kids' menu and she got confused. She said I'm insulting and belittling her and took a Uber home. Am I the asshole for mansplaining how to split rent to my wife? I know I'm right, but I need someone to tell me that I'm right. My wife and I have no kids and both work, and I make twice what she does now. We keep our finances separate. Our household expenses are low, and I out-earn my wife significantly, so I picked up the rent and household expenses. Hence, we never needed to exchange money. However, my wife got a raise, and we decided to move to a little fancier place. I asked her if she'd split the rent and household expenses with me, and she said sure. We signed a 12-month lease, and I told her I'll pay rent for 2 months, then she'll pay every 3rd month, and that'll be split 2 to 1. The issue is she wants to transfer 1/3 rent every month to me.